Welcome back to my channel. Today, we explore the value of specific coins, the most valuable USA silver Roosevelt dime coin value in market in dollar. So let's get started. First up, the 1966 Roosevelt 1 dime coin is a familiar piece of American currency that many people have seen or even used in everyday transactions. At first glance, it may appear to be a simple and common coin, but for collectors and enthusiasts, it still carries historical importance and curiosity about its value in today's market. When we talk about a 1966 dime without a mint mark in very fine condition, it is important to understand both its background and what truly determines its worth. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. For nearly a decade, these dimes were struck in 90% silver, making them highly desirable today. However, a major change occurred in 1965 when the United States Mint removed silver from dimes due to rising silver prices and a nationwide coin shortage. From that point onward, dimes, including those from 1966, were produced using a copper and nickel clad composition instead of silver. This means that despite its shiny appearance, the 1966 dime does not contain any silver, which significantly impacts its overall value. Another interesting feature of the 1966 dime is the absence of a mint mark. During the years 1965, 1966, and 1967, mint marks were intentionally removed from coins to prevent collectors from hoarding them. Because of this, every 1966 dime you come across will not have a mint mark, and this does not make the coin rare or unique in any way. In fact, more than 1 billion of these dimes were produced, making them extremely common even today. When evaluating the value of a 1966 Roosevelt dime in very fine condition, the condition plays an important role, but it does not drastically increase the price due to the high mintage of the coin.
The 1996 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark is a coin that many people overlook, yet it holds interest for collectors of modern U.S. coins. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it carries the P mark. On the obverse, it features the familiar portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a design that has been a staple of American coinage since 1946. The reverse shows the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength, making it instantly recognizable to anyone who handles U.S. dimes. It is important to understand that this dime is not made of silver. Coins minted before 1965 contained 90% silver, but the 1996 P. Roosevelt dime is composed of a copper core with a nickel outer layer. Because of this, its value is not determined by metal content, but rather by its condition, rarity, and the interest of collectors. While it does not have intrinsic silver value, it can still be a collectible coin, especially in higher grades. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 1.4 billion Roosevelt dimes in 1996. This large mintage makes it a very common coin in circulation today. Most coins you will find in pocket change or at local banks are the standard circulated variety and hold a value equivalent to their face value of 10 cents. However, the condition of the coin plays a critical role in its collectible value. Coins that are in very fine condition have clearly visible details, though they show some wear from circulation. In this grade, Roosevelt's hair, the lettering on both sides, and the torch and branches on the reverse remain distinct and recognizable. In today's market, a 1996 P. Roosevelt dime in very fine condition is generally valued slightly above face value. Collectors or sellers may expect to receive anywhere from 20 to 30 cents for a coin of this grade, depending on its overall eye appeal. Coins with more attractive appearance or stronger details may fetch a little more, but because of the high mintage, they are not considered rare. Coins in uncirculated condition, which show no wear from circulation, can be worth around $2 or slightly more, and coins graded at high mint state levels may reach even higher.
Next up, the 1984 P silver Roosevelt dime in dirty condition. Have you ever stumbled upon a coin in your pocket, wallet, or jar and wondered if it could be worth more than its face value?
Today, we're diving deep into the world of collectible coins, focusing on one particular coin that's caught the attention of collectors and investors alike, the 1984 Roosevelt dime. While it may seem like an ordinary dime at first glance, its value can surprise you, especially if you know what to look for. The Roosevelt dime has a long and fascinating history. First introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, this dime quickly became one of the most widely used coins in the United States. While the majority of Roosevelt dimes are made of a copper-nickel composition, silver versions, like those minted before 1965, are especially prized. However, even dimes from later years, such as the 1984 hold interest for collectors when specific factors come into play. Now, let's focus on the coin in question, the 1984 Roosevelt dime. The P mint mark indicates that this dime was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most prolific mints in the United States. The 1984 issue is part of the post-1965 series, meaning it is made primarily from a copper-nickel-clad composition, not silver. Yet, the coin's historical and collectible value can still make it appealing, especially in the right market. Coins in dirty or worn condition might seem less attractive, but they tell a story of circulation, handling, and use, which some collectors find fascinating. When evaluating the value of a 1984 Roosevelt dime in dirty condition and rarity are the two main factors. Dirty or worn coins are generally valued less than pristine, uncirculated coins, but they can still hold a modest premium. Collectors who are searching for...
Next up, the 1983 issue with a D mint mark. Even though these coins are common in circulation, the very fine condition examples hold a special place in collectors' hearts and can fetch surprising values in today's market. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. This design replaced the Mercury dime and has become one of the most recognized coins in American numismatics. The coin features a detailed portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse, capturing his determined gaze and signature profile. The reverse showcases an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch, symbolizing peace, liberty, and strength. Now, focusing on the 1983 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark, it was minted in Denver and is part of a series that had a high production volume. Despite this, coins from this year in very fine condition are noteworthy because they display a level of preservation that is rare for such a commonly circulated coin. A very fine coin, or VF grade, means the coin shows light wear on the highest points, but retains clear details of the design. The portrait lines on Roosevelt's face, hair details, and the intricate elements of the torch and branches remain visible, giving collectors a clear sense of the coin's artistry. The 1983 D Roosevelt dime is composed primarily of copper and nickel, as the mint had stopped producing silver dimes for circulation in 1965. This means that unlike pre-1965 dimes, it doesn't contain intrinsic silver value. However, collectors value this coin for its historical significance, condition, and place within the Roosevelt dime series, rather than for metal content. Coins in very fine condition from this year often appeal to those looking to complete a collection or to grade coins at home. When it comes to market value, a 1983 D Roosevelt dime in very fine condition can range from about 50 cents to a few dollars, depending.
Next up, the 1995 D Roosevelt silver dime, and why even a dime from your change jar could catch the eye of collectors and investors. The Roosevelt dime is one of America's most iconic coins. First issued in 1946, this coin was minted in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, recognizing his leadership during the Great Depression and his role in founding the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio. The 1995 D version carries on this legacy, minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark on the coin's obverse, just below the date. Now, when we talk about silver dimes, it's important to clarify that by 1965, the U.S. stopped producing dimes in 90% silver. The 1995 D Roosevelt dime, like all modern dimes, is composed primarily of copper and nickel, not silver. However, collectors often value coins based on condition, rarity, and mint mark, even for modern issues. The Denver Mint in 1995 produced millions of dimes, making this coin relatively common. That said, a coin in good condition, with minimal wear, clear details, and no major scratches, can still fetch a respectable value, especially to someone building a Roosevelt dime collection. So, what exactly is good condition? Coin grading is the system used to evaluate the state of a coin. Coins are typically graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. A coin in good condition usually falls between G4 and VG8. In this grade, the coin will have clear dates and mint marks, but the finer details, like Roosevelt's hair and facial features, may show some wear. While it won't be as valuable as an uncirculated or proof coin, a well-preserved 1995 D dime is still worth more than face value for collectors or investors who prefer coins in decent condition. In today's